Relationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. You know, if your woman doesn't submit to you, she ain't your woman. Now, I know this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but if your woman is not submissive to you, I don't give a damn what nationality she is. I don't care if you live together. I don't give a damn if you're black, you're white. I don't give a damn if y'all the same nationality. I don't give a damn where you live at in the world. If your woman is not submissive to you, she ain't your woman. She belongs to the streets. She belongs to her job. She belongs to the pastor at that church she attends on every Sunday. She belongs to her friends that influence her to do dumb shit. She belongs to somebody else, but she doesn't belong to you. And I know this is hard, a harsh truth. And it's something that I had to face about 15 years ago. And it's one of the biggest problems that I had, because I used to think that you had to pander and negotiate and talk women into shit. But all that's bullshit. It really is. And a lot of women will try to run game on guys because a lot of women want guys to protect them in some type of way. If that door fly open or if some type of danger is coming towards her, she looks, first thing she does is look at the guy that's sitting next to her. So she wants protection. But at the same time, she doesn't want to take instructions from a man. She can't stand a guy telling her what to do. You know, so you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Shit, there's some countries like Saudi Arabia and Dubai where women have to submit by law because those guys are in power. They run shit over there. So, you know, but living here in America, women, they pretty much do submit as they will. They just do what they feel like it. And that's the problem of living in the United States of America. Because women, if a woman does submit to you here, you don't know how long it's going to last. It could be 5 years, 10 years. But it works out well for us fellas, because if she gets out of pocket or does something that's unforgettable, you can get you another bitch. So it's all good. And by that time, in most cases, by the time she stops submitting to you, she's already up in age anyway. She's probably old. She's probably overweight. She probably doesn't look as attractive as she used to be. So sometimes it works out pretty well for some guys that I know. And I've lost friends because of like a lot of women, because they let their wives get up in their ears and tell them shit. And see, here's the deal. A woman should never have the authority to tell a guy what to do. A woman should never wear the pants in the relationship. You know, once a woman once women lead guys around, that's the beginning and the end of society as it is. You know, because women aren't supposed to play that position. They're out of line. You know, guys are born to lead. It's guys that's on the front lines. There's no women on no front lines, last I checked. But at the same time, women say, oh, I believe in equality and all that shit. Women can do just as better things as men. That's bullshit. Everyone has their position, and they supposed to play their position. But they want to go against nature. And a lot of women, they just want to get treated better than white guys in American society. They just want to take over the whole goddamn thing. They want to dominate guys. That's what that's really all about. It's really all about power. It's not about rights at all. It's not about public policy at all. That's just a game that a lot of women try to play. But there's always an exception to the rule. Socially, if you're with a woman and if she doesn't submit to you, she ain't your woman. She belongs to the streets. And that's just how that shit is. She doesn't belong to you. Because if she belonged to you, you wouldn't have to beg for sex or negotiate for sex. You wouldn't have to talk her into doing anything. It just is what it is. I mean, right now, if I go to North Carolina and call up women that I've been knowing for years and say, hey, I'm in town, where you at? I want to see you. They'll make time for me. They won't say, hey, I'm tired, or I don't know if I'll be able to make it. No, they'll make time. There's no such thing as I don't got time. That's bullshit. It really is. It took me a long time to figure this out. And I learned a lot by hanging around a lot of athletes and entertainers when I was in my 20s. And I learned a valuable lesson. They didn't have to negotiate for sex. Can you imagine Michael Jackson, Prince, a lot of these entertainers, they never had to ask for sex. Michael Jackson never had to ask for sex. You think about this for a second. He never had to ask for the pussy. I mean, could you imagine somebody like Prince? He never had to ask for the pussy. Man. So it's who you are more than anything else. So who you are is much more powerful than the doing. That's what I learned over the past 20 years. Yo! It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like and share the video, man. So yeah, we got to talk about Michael Jordan's son getting married to this Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. And a lot of people say that Scottie Pippen's ex-wife is kind of foul and disrespectful. But I have a new take on this. And a lot of this depends on your morals. A lot of this depends on your morals and how you operate as a man, as a person. Because it's like, how I do one thing, you might not see it the way I see it. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. I learned this when I think when I was in my 20s. I think while I was in the military at the time, I realized that a lot of people their morals were different from mine. Some things I would see them do to their friends, I wouldn't do. Even to their brothers and sisters, I would never do that to my brother and sister. And it's not necessarily all bad. It's just like I just don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on your morals when it comes to this type of shit. Um, you know, and someone was asking me what I think or whatever, you know. And I think if I'm not mistaken, she used to babysit him. She used to Scottie Pippen's ex-wife used to babysit Marcus Jordan when he was growing up. If I'm not mistaken, that's I think she might have said that in an interview when she was on the Breakfast Club, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess they have plans to get married at some point. Now, I would never do this. But that's just me. I would never get married to my teammate's wife, to my friend's wife. As a matter of fact, I would never even date my friend's wife. The way I see it is, if I know that you dated this woman, she's off limits for life. That's how I see it. You might say, well, shit, they're divorced. I'm not obligated to be loyal to him. I ain't breaking no laws. I ain't hurting nobody. She's cool with it. He cool with it. The family's cool with it. What's the problem? And you know what? There is no problem at all. There's no problem at all. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He's absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hurting nobody. Well, in this case, I'm not sure, to be honest. But let's assume that Scottie okayed it, Jordan okayed it. Nobody in none of these circles have a problem with it. And it's A-okay. But it ain't about them. It's really about me. That's what it's really about. It's about how I see things. It's how I want to live my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first thing, even before we get to her being Scottie's ex, I'm not interested in the old broad in the first place. I'm not interested in seriously getting in a relationship with an older woman. And it doesn't matter how good she look. She's still an older woman. 50 something, 50 plus. She's still the older woman. So I'm not really interested in an older woman. It doesn't matter how much money she got. None of that. I don't care about none of that shit. So that's the first thing. And like I said, if I know that you dated my boy, ex-teammate, friendship, you off limits forever. In my case. Now, I'll date your friends. Oh yeah, I've dated a bunch of friends. Friends of friends. Yeah. But That's it. You know what I'm saying? They say this woman's 49. So she's not even well, yeah, she 50. Yeah, she 50. Yeah. But that's just how I see it. You know what I'm saying? I know now, and let's keep in mind your friends, your teammates, ex-teammates, your brother, hell, even your sister. You know, in today's time, they're not obligated to be loyal to you in situations like this. So let's be clear. Just because you're one way, that don't mean that they should be or operate that way. So let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it ain't about them. It's really about me when it comes to this. This is why you have a lot of guys. Well, they like fucking married women. Or they'll smash the boy's girl behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people will say, well, she ain't married. So either you're married or you're single. Some guys would say that. And you know what? He would be absolutely right. He's absolutely right. She is a single woman. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's my boy's girl, and maybe she might be a stone cold filthy McNasty, and he'd be like, hey, she wanted to give it up. I took it. She ain't married. I ain't really doing nothing wrong. Now, morally, you know, that's one thing. You might say, hey, I might say, hey, yo, that's your boy, though. Yeah, but she is who she is. If I don't do it, somebody else gonna do it. But hey, she ain't married, so. But he would say, hey, if she was married, I don't fuck with married. I would never hit her if she was married. So I'm like, oh, okay. You know. So like I said, this shit just depends on your morals and your values and really how you operate socially. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys are like that. You know, some guys are like me. Some guys will say, hey, if you my man or used to be my man, and if you had any altercation with that woman, even if it was a one night stand, even if it was for a couple months, couple years, married, whatever, she's off limits for life. That's how I am, you know, and that's just what it is. And this don't got nothing to do with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Now, some people will say, um, well, that was Jordan's teammate. Jordan and Scottie were teammates. This woman is in violation. She's taking advantage of that young boy. Well, maybe. I'm not sure. I think, what, Marcus, how old is he? What, I think he's 30 years old. Yeah, I think he's 30. I'm not mistaken. He's old enough to know what he's doing. So, you know, he's old enough to know what he's doing. He's 32. Okay. He's old enough to know what he's doing. Well, you might say, well, he's inexperienced. Well, maybe. You know, she's an older woman. She's a predator. She's taking advantage of him. He's inexperienced. He's just a fucking nerd. Maybe she put that whoop de whoop on him real good and got him sprung. Maybe. I'm not sure. All of that could be true. But one thing, he's old enough to make a decision. That's one thing for sure. Now, whether it's a good decision or bad decision is a story for another day. But he's old enough to make a decision for himself, whether he wants to date, lay up with, or even get married to this woman. He's old enough to do that. He's old enough to know better when it comes to that. He's old enough to make a decision. He's old enough to play in the cookie jar, so to speak. So it just, but at the end of the day, you really don't know how a lot of these people get down. A lot of these entertainers and athletes, they're kind of in a different world than the rest of us. They are. They a lot of them operate very different, and then a lot of them are game goofy. So you at the same time, we really don't know what type of relationship Scottie Pippen had with this woman while they were married. We really don't know. Maybe she was the dominant figure in the marriage. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she likes dominating men. We really don't know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women that like to be in control and dominant in a relationship, they like guys that are younger sometimes. Because being that if you're a younger guy and she's an older woman, she has more life experience than you. There's some things, there's a lot of things you can learn from an older woman. And she knows this. There's some things as a 32-year-old man you're not going to know until you turn 50 or 45 or even 40. She knows this. She understands this. This woman is not ignorant. And plus, she's been out in them streets. She's been out in them streets, fucking with Future and I don't know. And I don't know who the other guys is. I don't know. But this woman is not. I saw her interview on The Breakfast Club. She's a very intelligent woman. She ain't dumb. She ain't stupid. She knows what she's doing. Why she's doing it, I don't know. But she knows what she's doing. And based on the interview on The Breakfast Club, she doesn't care what anybody says. Those are her words, not mine. She said she doesn't care what anybody thinks about her social life. That's what she said. So, and you don't even know why her and Scottie Pippen got a divorce. We don't know what type of marriage they had, and we don't know why they got a divorce. We really don't know. All we saw is she's hanging out with Future and some other dude. and the shit got out somehow. Oh, that's Scottie Pippen's wife. I didn't even know who Scottie Pippen's wife was until I saw her hanging a picture with Future. I had never heard anything about this woman. You know, I swear I didn't. I didn't know if she was dead or alive. I didn't even know Scottie Pippen was married. I mean, I didn't follow him like that. I didn't know, to be honest. Shit. I really don't follow a lot of these athletes and entertainers like that. I really don't. Especially the older guys. I really don't follow them. You know. But there's a lot of unknowns. But at the end of the day, this is just me. I don't date or have any type of physical contact with my friends, girls, ex-girls, and even my brother's girls and ex-girls. I don't have no type of physical interaction or altercation with them. Period. For life. That's in the story. You know what I'm saying? You might be different. You know what I'm saying? You might be different. You might be one of them guys that say, hey man, it's fair game. No harm, no foul. Shit. You know, you one of them guys, hey man, if she wants to break me off some, I'm putting it in her. And in certain situations, I would say you probably wouldn't be wrong in certain situations. Now, when it comes to your morals, that's another thing. But hey, if you want to share your opinion on this, click the link and let's talk about it. Otherwise, I'm going to be up out of here. You know what I'm saying? This is not I didn't really have a whole lot to say about a topic like this. You know, this is really a quick one. Really. Not too much to say. This is easy. Easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? And there's no right or wrong when it comes to this. It's just really how you see it and how you get down. Really. You know. What up, Prince Diamond? Yeah, it's really how you see it and really how you get down. But it's always keep in mind, just because you get down one way or operate one way, don't expect your friends, your brother to be the same. They're not obligated to see things the way you do. Just keep that in mind. You know, because see, and the reason why I say that, because a lot of your friends and your brothers will cross your boundaries. They'll do it. They'll even do it, and you might not. They might not even know what your boundaries is. You might have to check them. You know what I'm saying? You might have to let them know in advance before you bring anybody around. If you decide to bring anybody around, or you decide to invite them over to your house, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? MJ, one of the biggest winners in NBA. His son, future biggest loser in life. I don't know much about the dude, to be honest. I don't know much about Marcus. I don't know. Shit. Yeah. They say he got a website, I don't know what, some kind of, I don't really know much about Marcus, to be honest. See, I know he has some type of website that makes make pretty good money. But he's not like his dad. I think we know that. And I'm not saying he's supposed to be like his dad. No, not at all. Everyone has to take their own path, live their own life. You know what I'm saying? But that's funny. That's funny, man. But yeah, man, no one is your buddies are not obligated to be loyal to you. It's like I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get up off here. If you bring a girl around, a new girl, your wife, or whatever, someone that you respect, don't assume that the rest of the guys in the room have the same values as you do. Don't assume that they would never make a pass at your woman, or at least the girl that you brought over. Yeah. Now, if she's a jump off or filthy McNasty, well, it doesn't matter, right? But if she's somebody that you're trying to get to know, your wife or your soon-to-be wife, you have to watch who you invite to your house, who comes around your environment. You have to watch that. Because some of these guys are fucking predators. Some of these guys are trifling like that. Some of these guys will wait till you go to the restroom. Every guy have seen this. You go to the restaurant or out in public. As soon as you go to the restroom, some guy is going to approach your woman or the girl that you're with when you go to the restroom. Every guy has seen this, seen some type of experience like this. Have seen it or maybe had it done to them. I've seen this a couple of times where the guy gets up when we're at the restaurant or the bar, and the guy has a woman with him. The guy gets up and go to the restroom, and some other guy gets up and goes sit down by the woman at the table. Yeah, I've seen this. So it's that type of shit. That's very disrespectful, bro. But people, like I said, people cross people's boundaries all the time. They don't even care in most cases. That's why I said, never assume that everybody in the room has the same boundaries as yours, same morals as yours. Never assume that. This is why you have to always be mindful of the company you keep and be mindful of who you invite over to your house. You know what I'm saying? You can't let anybody come over to your house. You shouldn't, anyway. Man or woman. Some of these women are just as trifling as guys today. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, a lot of women don't understand this. Maybe they're naive, or I don't know. But you know, sometimes certain people shouldn't be able to come over to your house like that. You know, it's just you got a lot of trifling, degenerate people out here today, and predators. You know, so you have to protect what's yours. You know, this comes down to being a man. Sometimes a man is supposed to be the provider and the protector of his and his and your and her his, you know, of his domain, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So that's pretty much all I got to say, man. Go check out my Patreon if you like this video. I have a lot. I have hundreds and hundreds of topics of almost anything you can probably think of on my Patreon, man. You name it. If there's such a topic that exists, it's on my Patreon. You name it. I talk about any and everything. I have interviews over there with people from all walks of life, uncut and raw interviews that I put up every month. Some of these interviews I share on my public channel, but unfortunately, most of the interviews I can't share on my public channel. You know, I share clips on my public channel, but not the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? What up, Marcus Johnson? I know some people who I know and some who I grew up with that will be quick to get someone else's girl behind their back. Ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody doesn't have the same morals and values. You know what I'm saying? Some guys don't think anything's wrong with that. You know, some guys will and be friends with you. At least they say they're friends with you. And they'll do some slick shit behind your back with your girl. Some guys don't think anything's wrong with that. You know? And you know what? Some guys will say, it's fair game. They ain't married. I only want her for one night. I ain't doing nothing wrong. And you know what? I would say, you're right. You really didn't do nothing wrong. She's not married. You're right. She ain't married. So, just logically speaking, you really didn't do anything wrong. Now, if she was married, I would say you couldn't foul fucking your boy's wife. But they're not married. Okay. You know. But I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Because if I know you dated that woman at any point in time in life, she's off limits for life. But that's just me. I mean, I get it, but it's just disrespectful. But when you're thirsty, I guess you're thirsty. Yeah, I get that too, Marcus. I get that too. And they be quick. You're slid in the energy, man. Yeah, it's like, yeah. But like I said, everyone doesn't have the same morals and values as you or me. You know? And that's okay. This is why your personal life, everybody don't have to know who you dating. Everybody don't have to know. Hell, everybody don't have to know where you live. You don't have to invite everybody over to your house. As a matter of fact, most people shouldn't know where you live. Only a handful of people should know where you live. It's better that way, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's better that way, in my opinion. Your inner circle should be small. You shouldn't have a traffic of people coming to your house all the time. That's that's a recipe for a disaster. You know what I'm saying? So hey, that's all I got. Like, share this episode and all that good stuff. I'm out. Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.